I have a real treat for you today. Professor Chick Davis, the father of the choral program here at Emory Henry College, has joined us today. Thank you for being here today, Mr. Davis.
Oh, my pleasure. My pleasure.
It's a pleasure. Where are you from and where did you grow up?
Louisiana. Some people say a swamp rat. Baton Rouge, Louisiana was my hometown before I moved to Virginia. But I moved to Virginia when I was a junior in high school, moved to Tazewell.
And in Tazewell, you were the state pole vaulting champion.
No, that was in Louisiana.
In Louisiana.
My freshman and sophomore years, I was pole vaulting champion. That was basically my sport. I played basketball as well, but I didn't do anything in football until we got to Virginia. No, I had played football,
right.
But I'd sat on the bench.
Right.
But when I got here, Coach Snido came out of the Navy. He had been, well, I don't want to get too wordy on this, but he wanted to install his new offense at Tazewell High School, and that was the split T formation, which was brand new in the world at that time. And I was his first quarterback.
Right.
And so I played 2 years under him in high school, and then he became head coach at Emory Henry. And he looked at me one day and he says, "How would you like to go over there with me and be my quarterback over there?" So that's how it came about. I came here and I played 4 years here, and we lost one regular season game in 3 years by 1 point. We played in the Burley Bowl in Johnson City 2 years, then played in the Tangerine Bowl in Florida 2 years. It's now the Citrus Bowl, but it featured then the two top small colleges, supposedly.
And something that
it was great, yeah.
You also focused on in starting young was music and choir.
Yeah, a lot of people found that strange, but I didn't. I grew up in a musical family. I was the fifth of 5 kids, and my mom was a musician, and all the other older brother and sisters were musicians, and so I grew up singing. And when I was, my voice was still a young, unchanged voice, I sang in a boy choir out at LSU.
Right.
So I had a great experience. I thought that was tremendous. So I'd go play football right after school, and then I'd leave football and go sing in the choir. So to me, that was a natural combination of activities.
Right.
Very contrasting. To a lot of people, it was strange, but I found it very interesting and loved it. Loved both of them.
How did you start the program here at Emory Henry College?
Okay. Gosh, let's see. I, of course, had played under Coach Snido in high school, and he came here as head football coach. So I had a chance to come as an assistant coach to him later after I graduated, and that's what I thought I would do. See, I thought, okay, I'll go be an assistant football coach to Coach Snido. But then I came and talked to the president of the, oh gosh, I'll get too wordy very soon.
Oh, you're
but
fine.
Anyway, I was talking to the president and interested in the assistant football coach position. And he says, "No, Chick," he says, "I've got something else in mind for you." And I said, "You do?" Now, Tennessee Wesleyan College at that time had they were well known for their choir in the Holston Conference. And he says, "I want you to come here and start a choir, a touring choir, to represent Emory Henry College like they have down at Tennessee Wesleyan, but I want you to be better than they are." So that's how it all came about. And I came here. They had a kind of a student activity as a choir, but not seriously, to have a top flight group.
How did you feel about starting the choir?
Oh, I thought it was a great opportunity. I was just champing at the bit. So that's what happened. I came and started in, 1958, was that it? I believe in the fall, yeah, and we
what were some of the
wound up having 4 choirs. We had so many people that it snowballed. People wanted to be in it. So we wound up having a freshman choir, and then we had a chapel choir of upperclassmen who did not make the concert choir. Then we had the concert choir of select voices, and then all 3 combined to make the oratorio choir to do 2 major things a year. So, we developed quite a program, and it was fun.
What were some of the things that you would try to focus on as a choir director?
Oh gosh, I don't have time to go into my whole philosophy, because it is quite a philosophy that is espoused by Westminster Choir College of Princeton, New Jersey, and that's where I wound up getting my choral training. But in a nutshell, the whole idea is that when you're dealing with a human voice, you're dealing with the whole person. There's a mental aspect to it. You've got to know how to think the music. You've got to know how to discipline yourself. Then you've got to have the voice. You've got to have everybody has a good voice. That was the first philosophy. Mm-hmm. Some people think just a few people have good voices. Not true. Everybody has a good voice. You just have to learn how to use it. So we had to learn how to teach people to sing, how to use the voice correctly, properly, the way the body is supposed to produce the thing.
Right.
So that was a fascinating part of it. And then third, of course, you've got the spiritual aspect, that music is merely an experience. An expression of an inner experience.
Right.
So, you had to combine those three aspects in order to get the total product.
The choir this year is celebrating its 50th year at Emory Henry College.
Has it been that long?
How does the choir of today compare to when you were here?
Oh, that's not a fair question. There's no way. In the first place, I don't know, because I don't know. Really, I heard it. At one place, I don't know, just in rehearsal, I don't think it was a performance, So I can't really judge, and I shouldn't try to judge. It's just like any athletic team. In a sense, an athletic team reflects the coach's personality, his approach to athletics, his all of who he is shows through in the nature of his team. And the same thing is true with the choir, because the director is just like a coach. I was planning to go into coaching originally. I played football and basketball, but people said, "How in the world did you ever go into music?" I said, "I'm still coaching. I'm just coaching the choir. I'm coaching singing instead of athletics."
And you sure did help to build a fine tradition here at Emory Henry College. You taught for 38 years. Your son followed in your footsteps. And I appreciate you being here today, Mr. Davis.
Oh, thank you for having me. I could talk about it for hours, as you can tell. I just loved it. And I loved my experience here at Emory Henry, both as a student and then on the faculty.